So hi everyone.
Hello.
These splits, dude. Seriously, like look at the comparison. It's pretty close. Like Fatso has an edge on pretty much every one, but they're all like really minor, like less than 12 seconds in Mega Man 1. Is that third? No, I can't math. Math is hard. 11 and 2.
Never do math on stream.
I know. 23 and 3. The biggest one it looks like is 4 at 25. Oh no, 5. Mega Man 5 is the biggest gap. But still under a minute. Like this is gonna be interesting. This will be a close race.
Yeah,
I like this matchup.
Really good race.
Fatso is obviously a really good runner. But again, this is a 2-hour run, so anything can happen. Just trying to pull up the challenge bracket at the moment. So the winner of this will go on to play the winner of Fasta and Toad. So
another good match there.
Yeah, there'll be a potentially there's going to be some really great matches now coming up in this tournament. Now that we're finally hitting the stride and into the final stage, basically, we're going to be seeing, I think, some pretty solid races in the near future.
A lot of them are going to get to be real close, probably.
Yeah.
Even some of the ones that you might not think are supposed to be as close could be pretty close.
I mean, assuming that, we'll see what happens in the race, but let's say Nero does move on to race Darko. Like, even that race, I don't know, like...
Yeah, that...
You never really know what to expect from, like, someone like Darko. So...
Darko just pulls out good runs on a whim.
Yeah. And Baron and Becco will be racing in round 3. They are they were able to win in their first run of the final brackets. So this is interesting. I really like this format, honestly, with the pool play prior and then the single elimination. It really puts a lot more, I think, stress on the runners, maybe. But it's pretty exciting to see, like, how, all it takes is one race, so potentially you can have somebody who's very, very good be potentially eliminated early. So it's gonna be good. Looks like
you get caught up in something like have a bad ice and you fall off into the pit a few times, or if you soft lock in a lek.
Yeah. It's going to be so critical that when people go for certain strats that they know what they want to go for, because yeah, it's scary.
It's important to know what you're going to be doing ahead of time. And on the off chance that you mess something up, know what your backup's going to be.
Yeah, exactly. It looks like on our end we're pretty much set to go, so it's just a matter for the racers here to get readied up. How's everybody doing tonight, by the way? It's a little bit of a later one compared to most of them, but it's nice for me when we have later ones, honestly, because it's easier for me to get home in time for them. I still haven't found out yet from Enemy what his plans are for the final races, like time-wise. I don't know if he's gonna aim for a weekend or what, but we'll see, I guess, as we get closer. So Fatso's readied up, just waiting on Cassio, and then these guys will be underway. there it is. So RaceBot is counting down. Good luck to both runners, and
to the runners.
let's see what happens. I'm always curious which route when we hit Mega Man 3 Cassio decides to go, because I feel like he bounces back and forth sometimes between Magnet and Top. So I think he's still doing Magnet first for this, right?
I think so. I'm not totally sure.
We'll see as the splits get closer, I guess. But they are gonna both go cut first, so they'll both be going for the Magnet Beam grab early.
Magnet or cut first the faster overall route, but does require some execution to get it to be the faster route.
Yeah. There's not a whole lot of variance when it comes to cut stage, but there are little things you can lose time on, like Fatso unfortunately getting hit down this screen here. He's going to have to climb back up. Things like that are going to cost you obviously the most time. Usually you get through this stage with very minimal time loss, so falling a screen kind of hurts a little bit.
Yeah, screen transitions and ladder climbing in Mega Man 1 are fairly slow, so it can be painful to get accidentally knocked off and have to climb back up. Cassio having a little trouble with these Susans there.
Yeah. So he does not have enough health to survive the Big Eye if he gets a bad jump, so he's probably going to go get the health in this next screen, just to make sure that he can get it. So Fatso again sort of back into the lead, even though he had that little mishap there on that one screen. And he also has enough health, so he doesn't have to worry about the Big Eye.
Gets a good drop, so that he doesn't have to go out of his way.
Yeah.
You know?
That was really fortunate. That's very uncommon too.
Yeah.
Like
Mega Man 1 drops are pretty it's pretty droll. Like, you don't get them very often.
He gets the good Big Eye anyway, but still, like that was a really fortunate drop.
Yeah.
So really, really small time difference between these guys, even though there were just huge differences between their stages. So it just shows you how pretty straightforward cut stage is. Fatso gets his kill. And Cassio was able to do the deboost strat at the end. Makes the end of that fight really simple. So yeah, I don't expect to see a huge gap between these guys anywhere unless something sort of unfortunate happens. Like, these guys are pretty close in skill range, I think. Even though Fatso's PB is potentially stronger than Cassio's, they do still have the potential to be very, very close, I think.
Cassio having some trouble with the leg jump at the start here.
Yeah.
They're actually a lot tighter than they really should be for being
Yeah.
being in just the regular stages.
Yeah, they're not, for whatever reason, they're not really as easy as you might think. Oh, Fatso!
Fatso misses a Yoku block jump.
Again, fortunate that he only fell one screen. Oh, Cassio also forgets to doesn't quite re-grab the ladder.
Again.
Oh man. Giving Cassio, I mean, all this time to get right back in it. See if he can get his corner jump.
Oh, nice. Corner jump.
He's got it. First try. Very nice. Fatso finally gets out of that screen, dude. Oh my goodness.
So also gets the corner jump?
First try as well. Very nice. These guys just showing, like, their skill right now.
Coming up to the Magnet Beam grab. You kind of zip yourself out of bounds, and then jump back up, and inch your way over towards the magnet beam, being very careful not to go too far, or else you get trapped in Mega Jail and you can't escape with the soft walk.
Yeah.
Fatso gets into it pretty.
Fatso's in, and he's out. Cassio was having some issues getting to the wall. He's finally in. He's being very careful to grab the beam here, and he's out as well. So, again, another really, really short, quick lead change. But at this point, these leads don't really mean anything, because you can see how easy it is for to just one screen to change it.
Yeah. Cassio!
Ooh. He's gonna fall there. So he's gonna just wait.
Cycle.
Yeah. Yeah, waiting on the beam sucks, but sometimes you're better off maybe. Like if he's concerned about his health at all, that would probably be why he would want to do that.
He's still gonna have to be a little careful here.
Yeah, the big eye might be a jerk.
Yeah, either a safe jump over the big eye.
Yeah.
Fatso having some trouble with the climb here. Trying to inch himself too close to the next highest one up. Fell down a couple times for that.
Yeah. Yeah, that climb is actually pretty tricky, and even if you know how to do it, sometimes you can get unlucky by the beams. Oh, Cassio getting knocked down as well.
Nobody wants to escape from the Lek.
Yeah, this is you just see the struggle here in Alec stage. Like this is a tough stage to get through. Cassio looks like he'll be okay. All right, good.
Yeah.
Always scary when you're one-shottable by a boss, but these guys obviously are well practiced.
Yep. Oh, Fatso falling into the water. Looks like he just timed his jump a little bit late. It's quite a bit. It's I don't know if it's laggier or if it's just that the water hinders your movement, but you move slower in the water.
Yeah, that's right. Very nice wrap setup there by Fatso.
Cassio getting the zip.
Ooh, and very nice.
Also
and he's
getting
got
the
the
wrap.
setup for the wrap. Very, very nice. Seeing some really strong play by both these guys here. Nice. Ice is a very tricky stage. Obviously, the zips are all pixel perfect. The beams have to be in the very, very specific spot. And Cassio got that early zip, which is definitely not easy to set up. So, really nice. He wanted to get the other wrap as well. You could see him throwing some beams out, but unfortunately didn't find the pixel that he was looking for.
Means that he has a couple beams here in case he's able to get. Oh, yeah, he is able to get the.
Ooh, very nice. He's got at least one. All right, one zip.
Second one was a little high. Third one was a little low.
Yeah.
Or backward. Second one, third one was a little high.
Yeah. I knew what you meant. So just like that, again, I think Cassio closing that gap just a little bit with some of those extra zips. Solid stage. That's really the difference between Mega Man 1 zips to Mega Man 2 zips, is the zips in Mega Man 1 are a lot more difficult to set up. And so a lot of it comes down to your execution and getting the zips. Whereas the zips in Mega Man 2 are a lot easier. So it really comes down to how fast can you set them up.
Yeah.
More than actually getting them. So just seeing these guys set up some of those zips in ice and now trying to set these ones up in fire, it's pretty impressive to see them do that. Ooh, does he have it? No, not quite. Looked like maybe one pixel low.
Didn't bonk his head, so he's gonna have to wait for the.
Oh, yeah.
There he goes.
Ooh.
Give him a couple tries.
Yeah, giving Cassio a chance here again to catch right back up if he can. Could be in the exact same room. This race, dude, right now is so good. I know it's only the first game, but my goodness, this is awesome.
Really, it's super close.
This is kind of a scary zip to set up here. Fatso's got it. He's back in. Okay. Oh,
Try
Cassio,
again.
unfortunately, has to try
Trying
to
a little high and didn't like go.
Yeah. See if he's got
Alright, and he's out. Cool.
Yeah. Really nice too. He got the more extended zip as well, so. So one corridor behind, but still really close between these two guys at the moment.
A very, very close race still.
Bartman, technically Fatso does have an advantage in every game over Cassio. However, most of the advantages, like, they're very minor. Like, most of the games, Fatso's only got maybe about 10 seconds on Cassio, so they're very, very close. Which is why, obviously, why this is such a close race. You can tell already. They're very equal right now in that similar skill range. So both into bomb. We've seen some people struggle with this zip and bomb. It is one of the easier ones because you can set it up from the ladder, but there is a newer way to set it up where you don't use the ladder. So we'll see if these guys try to do that or not. We have seen some people struggle with this zip, getting sub-pixeled, trying to set the beam up even from the ladder. So we'll see.
Yeah, having the beam spawn a little too far away where this doesn't quite reach, so you have to.
Yeah, exactly.
Place an extra beam to make sure that you don't fall off, or nothing this time.
Fatso's just going for the ladder right away.
Oh, okay. He caught it in time.
Okay, yeah. I don't think he got subpixel there. I think he just didn't climb high enough.
Yeah.
Could be mistaken, but it looked like he was a little low. He uses his last beam, but he does get the zip. Cassio looking to try to set up from the right side, doesn't quite get what he wants, so goes to the ladder as well.
Okay.
Ooh, he didn't walk far enough to the right. So he's gonna have to be careful here.
There's left enough? Okay. Okay. Okay.
Oh, okay. Alright. So he's got his zip going. So because that took him a second try also, he didn't really pick up any time on Fatso there, I don't think. But both of them get the zip, which is really important actually, because that zip really saves a lot of time. That last screen of bomb is pretty bad. It's very difficult too if you're not careful.
Yeah.
So we got the last stage here, Mega Man 1 for both runners, Gutsman. The stage a lot more trivial once you have the beam.
Yeah, it makes the first section really simple to get by.
Yeah, you see Fatso just getting across the whole top there without too many issues. Just has to sort of outrun these copter heads.
Looks like Cassie's gonna have to wait for the platform a little bit. Didn't quite get the no stop.
Yeah. He's also across. We have seen a couple people mess up that first room a little bit and like take a death in the moving platform section, even with beam.
And he gets the beam pixel placement on the 1 pixel higher, so it sucks Mega Man down to the lower pixel. So he ends up just walking off.
Thanks, Mega Man 1. So Fatso's into his Gutsman fight. Obviously, Gutsman being a jerk here and jumping away from the bomb. The bomb is pretty annoying to use here for this fight because you can't really necessarily control it exactly the way you want to. But second try, he gets his bomb and gets his kill, so he's off to Mega Man 2.
Cassio getting there. 1 corridor zip.
Yeah, that's really nice. We are seeing Mega Man 2 normal from Fatso, so... And they're showing again why that bomb can be kind of annoying there on Guts. Cassio's on the Virtual Console, so his game swaps are going to be a little bit slower, unfortunately.
I think Fatso was trying to slow his game swap down a little bit to compensate.
He did, yeah, I think a little bit.
He got sniped by the enemy in Flash. The sprinkler.
Yeah, those guys sometimes can snipe you. It's kind of annoying, but it's just what happens. So the nice thing about Mega Man 2 normal, obviously, is a lot of enemies die faster, so it makes the execution of boss fights and killing certain enemies a lot easier. But you are penalized in a way for longer weapon get cutscenes, so both these runners, though, are going the same. They're both going normal, so we're not going to see any time saved based on those weapon gets. And I don't think either of them have implemented Baron's Crash Third route, so...
The air last route to save one of the weapon get timing.
Yeah. Yeah, one of the worst ones where you get one of the items.
It's not really an issue in the Rockman version, because it ends up being so much faster that it's still worth it just to do the regular route.
Yeah, well, and then the other downside is one of the rooms you have to buster with that other route is the last room of metal, and there's a lot of tin cans in your way with that route. And on difficult mode, obviously, that's just not an option. Ooh, Cassio having a little bit of problem here with Flash. Finally gets
Still managed to avoid being flashed, though, so...
Yeah.
Heat second from Fatso.
Looks like both, according to their splits, it looks like they're gonna both do heat seconds. That means we're gonna see some fast airs from both of them. And yep, some Yoku blocks in this stage.
A tricky item 3 throw here.
Let's see if he can get the 3
Just
throw.
misses it.
Oh, yeah. That's a pretty tight trick. It looks a lot easier than it actually is.
This is the climb. This is the climb. Yeah. Having a little bit of trouble manipulating his item 3s.
Yeah, he's just firing them a little too late. So they're going onto the wall too high. But he should have enough here to get his zip.
Yep.
He's got it. Let's see if Cassio goes for the 3 throw.
Yep, just fired a little early, it looks like.
Oh, very close. Fatso's through the Yokus.
Cassio set up the zip, and he's through.
Nice, yeah. Well, this will be interesting because it's going to be a very, very critical. The next stage is going to be very critical for both runners, as we see Cassio also getting through the Yoku section fine. So, Airman stage could potentially really separate these two if one of them has an issue at fast air.
Fatso got a couple of 30s and got trapped in the corner, took a hit early on, but fortunately he managed to escape with his life.
Yeah, Heat does a lot of damage. He's one of the few bosses in one of the earlier Mega Mans, like I guess other than Alec, that can deal quite a bit of damage to Mega Man, so even though his pattern is a little easy to read, also Cassio, same deal, getting a lot of 30s, also getting
got a lot of
pinned. Which is good, you want 30s, but I don't think he expected to get that many in a row.
Yeah.
So both these guys threw heat, so here we go. This is usually the stage that separates the men from the boys.
Fast air, or baby fast air.
Yeah. So, opening the stage with Flash makes this room pretty, the beginning of this room a little easier, preventing those little spike things that spawn from hitting you.
It's the back boost onto the item 1, which is always ideal. That
Yeah,
gives,
really nice.
gives you a bigger timing window, and manages to avoid getting hit from the last Thunder God.
Nice.
So
not totally Granny Air, but doesn't quite get the bird manipulation. He was trying to get one to spawn from the left, but unfortunately couldn't. So it takes a couple.
Yeah, it's a little early because the
Ooh, another one. Hopefully that won't hurt him for the fight. Usually he is on normal, so he could potentially get some drops if he really wants health. But
and Cassio's through it as well. Excellent.
yeah, very nice.
He's doing a lot of extra hops. Okay.
Yeah, Cassio actually he'll lose a little bit of time for that. You actually travel slower horizontally in the air than you do on the ground when you're walking, so if you can help it, you actually don't want to be doing jumps. Of course, if you're like me and you don't care about that because you're bored, then it doesn't matter. Yo, legacy pattern. Oh, Fatso.
Okay,
Fatso. Okay. Scary fight there for a second. Cassio also getting a lot of these drops, but they're all ammo pellets. So,
yeah, you didn't really need to jump over that one.
No, I know.
This isn't Mega Man 1, they don't stop your movement mid-walk.
Right. So he's gonna also need some decent enough execution to make sure he doesn't take too many hits, but he should be okay. Yeah. Alright. So yeah. Again, just neck and neck here, really. I mean, Fatso does have this small lead, but this lead has been about this same distance since like midway through Mega Man 1, so
yeah.
There hasn't really been any gain in time for Fatso.
The real question is either of them going to do Biggie?
That's a good question. I don't think so, but we'll see.
Aw, man. Fatso's definitely not doing it.
Yeah, he's not going for it. I don't think Cassio does Biggie, but I could be mistaken. Ooh, yeah, his item 1 was too far, or he was standing too far to the left. I don't know if he was all the way on the right of it, but he's got the second try there. So this is sort of one of the bigger weird glitches of Mega Man 2. Obviously there's zipping, but we've gotten further into the stage than it looks, and so we need to just get to a certain point where we can kill ourselves to respawn back at the checkpoint. That was, thanks Tin Can. Oh my goodness. That was interesting.
3-2 zip is impossible. Oh no! They're the same! Am I watching the same race on two channels?
My goodness, dude. Oh, these tellies right now.
They're doing the exact same thing.
Oh my goodness. So Cassio does finally get in there. Fatso into his crash climb here.
Doing sort of the safer climb there.
Yeah, not going for all the item 3 jumps, but he gets quite a few of them. So, an okay climb. Now, ideally here we want a high jump from Crashman. If he gives you the short high jump, you can get a double hit with air shooters, so we want to see that, hopefully. If he does the low jump, then we will have to, Fatso will have to hit him a second time. And there you go. It's that high jump, so he gets the double hit.
Cassio also doing the easier climb.
Yeah. Yeah, you're better off to get at least some of the item 3s as opposed to none, because you can tell climbing ladders is really slow, so...
It's really slow in Mega Man 2.
Yeah. So Fatso's into Quick Man stage. Not gonna bother grabbing the 1-up, so he has faith in his execution. See how many zips these guys decide to go for. There's one zip at the end of Quick Stage that has a potential for a soft lock, so we're gonna
Cassio missed the double on Crash. Greg just got the long pattern.
Yeah. Fatso with a slightly different setup for the zip than we've seen most people go for, but works for him, so he's got it, and he turns the lights back on.
Back on. You can leave the lights off. It's a little bit faster on the zip, but it can be a little trickier. You do have to have the stage, like the whole rest of the stage, memorized, and even then, you have to. If your movement isn't quite perfect, you can accidentally get clipped by one of the beams, and they'll just instantly kill you.
Yeah.
Like Fatso's not going to go for the gate crash zip.
Yeah, that's the potential for soft lock there, so the fact that he's just avoiding it, just, again, he's just gonna play it safe. There's no reason to go for it and then risk it and take a soft lock, because if you do that, you instantly put Cassio into the lead, so he's just gonna take his time. Gets the pretty easy Quick Man pattern. Especially on normal, where you only need 4 hits.
Well, looks like Cassio is gonna go for gate crash zip.
Ooh, maybe he's thinking he wants to try to save a little bit of time here, pick up some more time. So here's...
Yes. He has to abandon it.
Oh, yeah. He didn't quite get his item in the right place, and it despawned on him. So Fatso's into metal. We got one of the easier zips to do here. He
The hardest,
didn't quite get his
zip to set up.
Yeah, he didn't quite get it. He almost had it, but has to do a second item to set it up.
Really, really troll pattern from Quick Man on Cassio.
Yeah. And Fatso's not going to go for the half-second time save zip there, so... We've actually seen a lot of people skip that zip. I'm honestly a little bit surprised by that. Like, even people who are notoriously decent MM2 runners have skipped that zip. And I'm not really sure why. They just feel that it's too difficult?
You have to set it up really fast in order for it to give you that half-second time gain, and it's fairly easy to mess up and lose time on. But yeah, I am still surprised that there's not as many people going for it. I'm also having trouble getting into the too, but does manage to get it. Quick Man fight where you just hold down the shoot button going into the room, and he just doesn't ever jump, at least on normal mode.
So Fatso's off to wood stage. Ooh, Cassio getting bumped off his item 2. Trying to play it a little careful around the tin cans.
And goodbye.
Cost him a little bit of time, but he's gonna get to the end of the stage at least.
Fatso flashing by the dog, get the nice mini zip there. Should have enough.
Yeah, he should be okay.
Got plenty.
Thankfully, the metal fight is really easy on normal. You really don't have to do almost anything.
Having a little trouble with the good wood zip here, though.
Yeah, he's putting his items too high, and then he can't get on top of them, so... There he goes. So this is going to be the second death warp we're going to use. The first one we saw earlier in Crashman stage. This one we're going to get past the checkpoint for the boss corridor, and then we're going to take the death, and that will cause us to respawn at the corridor.
Alright. Good wood. Well.
Good enough wood.
Good enough wood.
Fatso going to air. For normal, I don't know if that's necessarily faster. I guess it probably depends on how good your execution is on this fight.
The air and heat fights are basically the same length if you do them both properly.
Yeah, I know it's faster in refights. Yeah. It's just based on because you're already on air.
Yeah.
So it doesn't cost you an extra menu. But yeah, in this case for the main fight, I think they're about the same. For normal, anyway. There's only one more stage left for Mega Man 2 for Fatso here. As Cassio's finishing up his Woodman stage. Fatso getting the really, really laggy frogs. It works really well to get through them, but you do generate quite a bit of lag by doing that strat.
And a good wood from Cassio there.
Yeah,
he's gonna opt to heat. Yeah, heat Woodman.
Yeah, the obviously simple Woodman fight on normal. And you can see how much faster he got his kill there, just because Fatso didn't get his double hits with air shooter. So
yeah,
and Cassio's fight there was faster, just based on the execution.
And Fatso on Team A Trigger for the bubble zip.
So I've been noticing a lot of runners, the way they fire their metal blade on those last couple frogs. They've been getting stuck to the ground, and because when you fire Metal Blade, if you're on the ground, it holds you in place for a little bit. Fatso did it very nicely there, where he jumped as he fired, so that he did not get held up on the ground. It'd be nice to see some more of the runners start implementing that.
I've found that I've been trying to avoid getting the ground lag, and I found that the small frog on the left side actually despawns when you do that, like when you don't.
Oh, really? So you get frogs from the next one?
You get frogs from the next frog.
That's funny.
Which is probably a little slower overall.
Well, I mean, Fatso just did it.
Yeah. Well, he got hit by the big frog.
Yeah, he did. We'll see what Cassio does when he gets there. Fatso's into Magnet stage. Like, I know it's possible to do it the other way without getting stuck to the ground and not get frogs from the second one, because I've done it that way before. But I don't know how hard it is. It might not be as easy as I think it is. So Fatso, obviously, with a very, very strong time in this game. Cassio also, probably Mega Man 3 being his best game.
Yeah, the should be a fairly close Mega Man 3.
Fatso actually got a really small thing. I guess I should mention it because he's just doing Yoka blocks right now anyway. When he fell into that one eyeball room with the two eyeballs going down the stairs towards him, where they go right and he goes left, he actually shot both eyeballs with one shot. That's actually ideal if you can do that as you're falling down into the room. Usually I aim to just hit one of them, but he hit both without overmashing too, so really, that's actually really good. It makes the eyeballs a lot easier to kill afterward.
We get 2 Magnet First routes.
Yeah, so that's good. We'll be able to tell still who's ahead and who's behind.
We're missing a couple of the extra shield shots. And get some extra shield pattern for his trouble for that.
Yeah, and he elected to deboost on the sprinklers, so that's why he doesn't have enough health to do another deboost on Magnet. Otherwise, he could have killed Magnet there, even with that pattern. Cassio hitting the Yokus now. This is really the only downside of Magnet first, is you have to do the Yoku blocks, obviously, so...
Yeah.
All the other 2 routes, well, I guess you could say other 3 routes, they all have Rush Jet for this stage, so...
Shout out to Needle first.
Yeah.
Ooh, nice sprinkler kill from Cassio.
Yes, very nice. So the bonus there is, that actually doesn't look like that big a deal, but it's more about the HP than anything else. So Cassio now has enough HP he can take an extra hit from Magna Man's body that Fatso couldn't get hit with. So it really is sort of nice to come into this fight if you can kill that sprinkler that way, as opposed to taking the D-boost, which is what Fatso did.
And of course he's getting all jumps.
Yeah, sorry about that. He didn't quite get the all jump pattern, but that was a pretty mean pattern from Magnet. Meanwhile, Fatso is into Hardman stage. Going through the dozer room, these dozers can be pretty terrible. As you can see, that one shot putting it right in his face and it's still tanked off.
Yeah, it's like their hitbox oscillates back and forth. And so if your bullet is fired when it's oscillating back, and then it oscillates forward, then it tinks off the back of his head or something.
Got some beat
Feels
there.
that way.
Cassio despawns them, so he's okay.
Nice hard man fight from Fatso there.
Yeah, it's important to actually get hit by the bottom of Hardman's hitbox, because that will allow you to get hit a second time, and that knocks you out of the stun. So you can shoot him again immediately. Otherwise, when he hits the ground, he'll freeze you in place for a short period, and you can't act for a couple seconds. So the way that fight is routed, you take 2 hits on purpose, which means you have to have at least 13 health to survive.
Yeah, just managing to cut out the pause animation when he lands on the ground, where unlike Gutsman, you don't actually have to even be on the ground to be frozen. It freezes the whole screen.
It's interesting that Fatso goes for the shots on those eyeballs in Magnet, but he doesn't try to shoot that top guy.
Yeah. Very nice proto kill from Cassio there.
Yeah, that's the more difficult proto fight too, with the uneven ground, so it's a little more difficult to get a good feel for how to execute that fight.
One of the benefits of Magnet first over top first is having magnets for these cats.
Yeah, these cats have 10 HP and the magnets deal 2 damage each, so only 5 shots are needed as opposed to the 10 buster shots for top first runners.
Plus they home in on the cats, so you only have to just fire the 5 as opposed to jump up and avoid the yarn balls as you're firing buster shots.
Yeah, Fatso playing it really safe on the tops there, making sure he gets across that last jump. And obviously top is a lot easier with his weakness for Knuckles, and that's it. He didn't quite get the switch, Pristy. He menued too early. So he didn't get the drag from the top, unfortunately. He tried to get it.
Huh. Oh! Frizzy fires a magnet at a weird time, and it tracks the cat, but misses.
Yeah, magnets can
Still
track sometimes kind of weird. He's got enough magnets still to finish the second cat off, thankfully.
Yeah, he used the 3 magnet strat on the top spinner,
Yeah.
so had an extra for the second cat.
Good proto fight there from Fatso. Going into the dark room now. See if Cassio also does not go for top jumps, so these guys playing it a little bit safe. They don't want to take any unnecessary deaths. I know exactly what Sparky's talking about.
Another benefit to the magnet first route over the top first route is having the magnet. Ooh!
Oh!
Having
Dang.
the.
He must have just cut his jump short. Like, I don't think that
Yeah, I don't
drop
think that was
would have affected
a
that,
drop
so...
for that one.
So he doesn't have enough magnet to get across, but he could still use it at least for some of these guys. So he can do that. Now he can switch to top spin. Ideally, he's taking hits here. I think I would have switched to top there.
It's gonna be a little low on health for Shadow Man.
Yeah. Does he have 10? I think he's got enough. He should be fine. But kind of a scary setup on those last few parachutes.
Just barely had enough.
Yeah. So. Cassio entering the dark room. He's about half a stage back at the moment, so any sort of larger mistake at the moment from Fatso could really bring this back.
These shoe enemies have just such the weirdest hitbox where
The shoes are the worst, dude. They're so bad. Ooh, Cassio got a drop there right before his jump. That looked a little scary, but he makes it across. So he'll pick up some time there on Fatso for not taking the death.
I should probably mention that the old route was Gemini first.
Yeah, the top routes of this game have sort of bounced around quite a bit. It was top, then it was Gemini, then it was Magnet, now it's top again. And even the top that we have currently is not the same as the old top. Like, the route is actually different, even though they start on the same robot. Fatso got the zip. Yeah, it is. There's some similarities, but there's definitely some complete differences, which is kind of cool, actually.
Fatso opting to take the second back deboost off the small penguin.
Yeah,
since he got hit by the dragonfly.
Yeah, the little penguins or whatever, they deal less damage, so you're better off to do that than slide into the maker sometimes. Going through this single block room. This is a notorious room.
Very nice
for the stage, and he's through it. Very nice, yeah. That's a huge sigh of relief when you get out of that room without a death.
And Cassio also getting the zip. Very nice.
Yeah, really good. Let's see how Fatso's fight goes here. Ideally here you can kill Gemini. That first phase you want to sort of like go back and forth by hitting the different forms. Like he's got the two of him jumping around. You want to rotate, like hit one then the other, then one then the other, because that resets the iframes of the previous one you hit. So you don't want to just mash into the same one there, and that makes the first half of that fight go really quickly. So
and that's sort of why the Gemini first route is a thing. Being
Right.
able to mash Buster Shots into both of them at the same time.
Ooh, no. So Cassio does have Marine here, so he'll be able to use that if he wants, which
Looks like he was
isn't
debating
going to. So he's gonna just go top route again. Ooh, fell down again. So Cassio, I don't know if we're playing his audio or not, but he now has music. So this is a lot laggier now, this room, so he is finally getting into Marine, so good choice. You get to see Jumping Rush Marine. So he's through that room. Like I said, it's a tough room, it's not easy at all, so...
Especially with the extra lag with the music on, it throws off all your timing for the slide jumps.
Yeah.
Fatso going through Friedel.
Yeah, what an easy stage, right? It's so free.
Freaking Friedel.
Needle stage is really short, so you would think in theory that it would be easy.
No!
Oh no,
The
indeed.
Medulla!
So Fatso missed, and unfortunately, we're getting. Oh, it bounced around him again. Okay, now there's a risk here because needles deal 3 damage. He cannot get hit again.
Oh, okay.
Oh my goodness.
Medulla.
Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. Okay. Obviously, a death there would have been really bad for more than one reason, because he would have lost time to the death. He also would not have had enough Gemini Laser to finish the next fight, so he would have had to finish him with Busters, so... Really critical to get that kill when he did, as opposed to taking a death there.
Yeah. Kinda got
Cassio.
locked up by the fact that you can't
Yo, nice.
turn and shoot from the ground in Mega Man 3. Like, you kind of get locked onto the ground. If you're walking in one direction and you try to shoot the other direction, you're kind of locked on the ground in the same direction you're facing for a few frames.
I want to point out that Cassio beat the Dragonfly. Get good, Prissy.
Get good, Susie.
Fatso's into my favorite stage. Snack Man.
Snack Man for the win?
Yeah, Snack
Gotta
is
save snacks
really
for
good.
last.
Yeah, dude. Snack and Spark. And a
Cassio
decent
having
needle
no
fight there.
trouble with the needle.
Yeah.
Three Komodos.
Yeah, thankfully these mini-bosses are also skippable, like a lot of the MM4 mini-bosses. Just get on Jet and jump right over. You can also zip through them, based on timing your slide at the right time. You can zip through, but I don't think anybody's actually put any proper work into seeing if they can make that faster than actually jetting over. It's about the same, I believe.
I think if you're able to do it really fast on the very first attempt, it saves like a very minor amount of time.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking too, but that would be like best case scenario.
Yeah. If you miss it once, then it's automatically a loss.
Mm-hmm. Fatso getting the worst pattern, unfortunately.
Cassio, it looks like, is going to do snack last.
He is. Get your snacks ready. Oh, my bad, wrong game.
Search for snacks.
So Fatso's got one stage to go. Spark. And Cassio's almost finished Spark, and then he'll be heading off to Snake, which is the longest of the 8 robots in this game, so... kind of the one downside of having that looming over your head, being that it's your last stage. But still, again, like, this race has been close this entire time, so anything can still happen yet.
Pretty solid Spark.
Yeah.
Not perfect, but...
One benefit of doing Spark before Snake, especially in 8 robots, is that you teleport out of Spark faster than in Snake's stage. So it's actually beneficial to do this stage before Snake. It's a minor optimization, but it is a little bit quicker. I'm not sure if that's why.
Only a factor for the 8 robots.
Right, yep.
Out.
I don't know what exactly makes it. I thought it had to do with the raised ground, but I'm not really convinced of that because Snake also has a raised ground and it's definitely slower than Spark. And Fatso getting the worst pattern from Spark, but he gets his kill. And he's off to Mega Man 4.
Mega Man 4, where the title screen just kind of sneaks up on you.
Yeah, a little bit. So giving that extra wait period.
I'm gonna opt for the Pharaoh first route.
I don't believe so, Baron. There's only one pattern where you don't get to the center with Spark, and that's the one that Fatso got. You should be able to get to the center on all the other 3 patterns.
And he's also going to opt to coil over the pit, so...
Yeah, so making the route choice not really any faster to Bright first by doing that. But yeah, a 1 jump, 2 jump, and 4 jump pattern from Spark, you should be able to get onto the middle without any issues. And Cassio doesn't get the best pattern on Snake, but he gets his kill, and he'll be off to 4 as well. So, still a really close race between these guys.
Looks like it's gonna be about 1 stage by the time Cassio gets into 4.
Yeah. And like just the stage, like not even counting the boss fight.
And he's gonna opt for Bright first, so potential time save that way. Over the coil over the pit route for Pharaoh.
Pharaoh kind of being a jumpy jerk at the moment. He can do this still. Now, he's in the corner. Fatso does not want him in the corner, but he's not really trying to manipulate him out of the corner, so unfortunately he's going to get him sort of killed a little off-center there, but does accidentally fire his buster the wrong way.
Allows Pharaoh to get an extra jump in closer to the middle.
Yeah. Yeah, the fact that you can manipulate Pharaoh a little bit based on how you stand, how close you stand to him. If he does get into the corner, you want to try to stand further away from him to force him to jump, so that he'll jump closer to the middle, ideally. But again, it's still random anyway, so you can do as best you can to manipulate him, but there's going to be just a little bit of a randomness to the fight, regardless.
It looks like he's gonna actually do ring second.
Yeah, this is technically faster than doing Bright Second by 1 input. So it's not really much faster. Basically, he won't have Flash Stopper in his menu when he does Dust stage, so using Pharaoh strats in Dustman stage, it basically means that you'll have 1 less down input to go to Pharaoh shot in Dust. So it's such a tiny thing that it's really not a big deal. I used to do this route. I actually did that route at GDQ. But I changed back to going Bright Second just because farming the RNG was more important than the 1 input.
Yeah. And it's the all shots pattern that you want from the Buster version of the Bright fight, correct?
Yeah, you wanna ideally have Brightman stand on the ground and shoot at you. The downside with this is just like Pharaoh, Brightman is slightly manipulatable based on how you stand close to him. And so if you're standing close to him, Brightman is more likely to give you a jump. So it makes trying to do the Buster fight difficult if you're trying to stand right next to him and do your Buster shots. Easier for the Pharaoh first runners that do it with Pharaoh shot because they want all jumps from Bright.
Yeah.
Fatso's got like a gazillion health for this boss fight, so he should
probably get bodied by Ring about 7 times and be fine.
We've seen a lot of people in this tournament take deaths to Ringman, but with that much health, Fatso must be feeling a little bit more comfortable. Ooh, he should still be fine. He's got enough ammo to finish him off, so... Unfortunately, it does get a corner kill. That costs you some time. But,
Cassio showing the power of Bright in Pharaoh, where you just don't have to worry about the bees or the vacuum cleaners.
Yeah, Flash Stopper saves so much time in these first 2 screens. Not only, like you're saying, like preventing the flies from shooting, but you also prevent the scorpions from even spawning. So it's a huge time save because you reduce so much lag. If you couldn't get double shots with Pharaoh shot, like there would be no reason to do Pharaoh first, basically. So Pharaoh on Dustman stage, there's not a whole lot of difference between using Pharaoh shot and Flash Stopper in these screens. Obviously, Fatso does not have Flash Stopper, so he has to do Pharaoh shot strats. He got the good pattern from the Stomper, which means he could potentially save time with this. You kind of have to have some good RNG to make Pharaoh also faster here. Oh, he's wasting a little time.
He slid a little early.
Oh, yeah, slid early. So he's going to take a death, head back. That's really unfortunate, too, because that's near the end of the stage there.
That's getting the good Crusher cycle.
Gets through the Crusher, yep, very nice. So Fatso's got plenty of health here. He's got, basically he can take 3 body hits from Dust and he'll still have 1 HP left based on his HP at the moment, which is good. That's an ideal scenario, because if Dust goes for a suck pattern, you need to deboost into his body quickly so that he can start a new pattern. Oh, he did take a bullet there, though, so he can only do 2 body hits now. But doesn't have
all
to.
the jumps afterwards.
Yeah, ideally you want Dust to jump a lot, but because of his hits not being exactly right, he ended up killing Dust a little off-center. But it's still alright. It's still a better pattern than getting, bad luck from the fight and having Dustman give you a lot of suck patterns. Cassio does get Pharaoh down.
And he gets the good...
Ooh, yeah. Gets the animation skip. Yeah, very nice. Saves about 72 frames. About. Just something around that, specifically.
Somewhere around 71 to 73.
Yeah. Fatso going across these first screens. There's not a whole lot of RNG in Bright Stage other than the grasshoppers themselves. So you want the grasshoppers to jump further as opposed to shorter.
Long jumps are a little faster, both in distance traveled and speed of travel.
Yeah. So you see these shorter jumping grasshoppers are not as good, whereas that long one that he just got there is much, much better. Using Balloon at the moment in this stage is a lot slower. Unless you get absolute worst grasshoppers, then Balloon would be faster. Balloon strats in Bright right now are a thing of the past, unless task balloons are used.
Cassio opted to not take the damage from the second ring, or from the first ring mini-boss.
Yeah, it gives him a little more HP to work with when he gets to Ring Man, which is really nice. So we're going to see the alternative Bright Man fight now. He's got Pharaoh Shot. Pharaoh Shot, obviously, if you hit an enemy with the charge above your head, as you see him doing here, he can then release B and get a full charge without actually having to charge up another shot. So basically you're getting 2 hits for only 1 charge, which is why the fight is faster, and which is the main reason why Pharaoh First is faster than Bright First. Speeds that fight up quite a bit. Cassio has a very nice ring fight. So again, still only just about that 1 stage back. He did lose some time because of that death mainly. But otherwise, still not really out of it yet. There's still a lot of game left. But he might be starting to get into a range where he's going to need Fatso to start making mistakes.
Takes the body hit from the Skeleton Joe. Do those do more damage? Or does getting bodied by the Skeleton Joe do more damage than the projectile?
I actually can't remember. I think the bone does 2, and the Joe does 4. I think, but I might be remembering wrong. Maybe it is 4 and 4.
He takes another hit from one of the caterpillars.
Yeah, it doesn't quite get through there in 1 flash. He's into the last room though.
Health boost here.
Yeah, and at least for the boss fight, you don't need any health, really. You shouldn't take a hit here if you execute it correctly, so... Cassio also gets the Fast Crusher. Very nice.
Yep.
Fatso going for the slightly slower fight on Skull.
Does get hit by a bullet, but he's fine.
Yeah. Yeah, he had the health to deal with it, so he's fine. See what kind of pattern Cassio gets here. It's looking good so far. 1 more jump. Oh, you jerk. Alright, well, he died in the middle.
Jumps afterwards, so it still gets the
Yeah.
optimal kill location.
Right.
Just had the suck in the middle, because dust sucks.
Yeah. So Fatso's going into Dive Man stage. The one nice thing about Dive is, well, I don't know. I actually kind of view it as a nice thing. But you can't jump out of your slides underwater in Mega Man 4 and 5. And that's actually a nice thing because it forces your movement to be very consistent in this stage. Like when you practice the stage, I just find that jumps and everything and slides are very, very well thought out. And you very rarely break muscle memory. And so that actually makes this stage pretty consistent. A lot of people don't like the idea that you have to cancel your slides before jumping, but it's not too bad in this game. Like, there's a lot of the slides that you don't even bother going for if you would have to cancel your slide anyway, so... For a lot of people anyway, so it just makes the rooms fairly easy and consistent.
Canceling your slides just feels so good. Why would
Well,
people like
not
it?
in this game.
I mean, to be fair, the underwater cancels in 4 and 5 are already level canceled.
Fatso does get one jump whale without shooting any lag bullets, which is really important, actually. Oh, he overshot. So, okay, so Fatso actually does not have enough skull to do the dive man fight the normal way. He can still kill dive here, but he's gonna have to make sure he doesn't hit the missile with a skull barrier. So he's gonna have to make sure he gets all 7 hits on just dive man. If he doesn't, he'll have to switch to dust. Oh. Okay. Oh, he burned it. Unfortunately, he took the missile, so he's gonna switch to dust here and finish him off. So not a huge time loss, just a minor one. Ooh, Cassio not quite getting the right. He went for the faster fight, but didn't quite get the manipulation. But at least the second shield from Skull was very, very short, so
yeah,
he didn't really take too much time loss for that mistake.
Going into the second dive man, drill man. Fatso?
Yeah. Yeah, and here we're going to see the true, you know, the flash stopper really shine, I think. Like, it's used for pretty much the entirety of this stage and the next stage, so we really start to see why this weapon is so useful. I guess we never really talked about the specifics, but flash stopper, obviously you can tell it freezes enemies in place so that they can't move for 5 seconds. But the timer does not count down when you're sliding, so if you keep moving very quickly and chain your slides well, you can effectively make that one flash stopper last for an entire screen. Usually, depending on the screen, I guess, but yeah. So you see like him going through this one right there with one flash. The last screen of drill, though, is a really long screen, so sometimes it's very hard to do that with one flash, so the runners sometimes would like to have an extra one sort of in their back pocket just in case something goes wrong.
Yes, you might see some runners kind of start or hit their first flash stopper a little later than normal, just to kind of set up their movement in a way that they get it at a different time, or it runs out at a slightly different spot.
Cassio also very nice whale kill. I didn't see his first whale, but that one was a one jump, so solid execution by both these guys. Good mashing. Those whales have 14 health, so it's not a joke to one jump them. Getting a very, very nice pattern to start there. You want all jumps if you can get from Drillman.
Kill drill.
Because then he won't shoot any drills either, and those lag the game. So, but 2 dives, that's sort of a little bit below average. Typically, I don't see more than 1, but it can happen. It can happen. Cassio was trying to get the animation skip also here, like he got in Pharaoh, but just missed it. So yeah, 2 dives there for Fatso. We'll see what Cassio gets when he gets the drill. We don't count the first dive of drill just because it 100% happens all the time, so it's not random. We only count the dives afterward.
After the first one?
Yeah. Again, being somewhat manipulatable and staying very close to drill will typically cause him to not dive and give you a walk or a jump, but again, it's not a perfect system. Fatso into Toad.
Many different physics where the rain is pushing you back in the first screen, and then the water and the waterfall is pushing you either forwards or backwards or down in the next screen. You kind of have to know what each one is going to do so you can plan your movement around it.
Yeah, this stage can be pretty tricky. Like you said, like there's so many different things affecting your physics a little bit, so to be kind of careful. A lot of people come into this stage when they speedrun this game and just go, oh yeah, Toad, free stage, but they forget the stage is a little bit tricky. It's never a good feeling to lose a run in this stage, so it's pretty important that they focus throughout the different rooms. Again, having to cancel your slide there because you're underwater.
Guess you had a little bit of a strange ending to his long drill room, but managed to salvage it.
At least when you do get to the end of the level, you're rewarded with this quote-unquote boss. And yeah, Mega Man 4 is done, so Fatso is off to Mega Man 5.
Shell drill.
So there's one.
Oh, nice shell drill.
Two. So see, Cassio's standing too far away from Drill right now, so that's why he's getting dives. And again, he's moving too far away, so not all of this is the RNG of the fight. In fact, a lot of those dives could have potentially been prevented if Cassio had stood closer to Drillman. So, a lot of dives there, but gotta know what manipulates them. Pretty costly. Every dive is about 4.3 seconds, so Castio losing an extra sort of 8.5-ish seconds to Fatso there.
How many frames is that, Sheldon?
How many frames? 4.3?
Yeah, I mean, you knew it was
I have it written
frames.
down. I have it written down. I don't know it off the top of my head, though. I usually try to say it in seconds, because people understand that better than some, like, 200 and some frame
Yeah.
random number.
Fatso just charging through Star. Star being notorious for its low gravity physics. And
Cassio went back to Drill. So he's I don't know if he picked up 1-ups, but I guess he's electing to replay the entire stage. That's actually a pretty costly error.
He could get to the or it's not short enough because that's the checkpoint.
It is, yeah.
Checkpoint's really far in. The first pit in the stage, or the first spot you can die on the stage, is pretty far in. So I was thinking maybe he could get to the checkpoint and then game over there, but it's just the one screen left.
Yeah, he's not flashing either, which is really brutal. You can see how much more lag you're getting when you don't flash these rooms. Meanwhile, Fatso's already through Star, which is really important to go with Star first because you get the super arrow.
Opting to swap the dive missile, even though
don't
Drillman's
know
not
if
there.
he thought he had to fight him again?
Is not Mega Man 1? The bosses do not
Nope.
reappear?
They do not. Carefully selects Toadman this time. So you can see why Super Arrow is attained early on in the run, because we're going to be using it in every single stage after Star. So being able to fly over like a room like that without having to kill the enemies and stuff is just it's too good. It's too good.
It's the fastest horizontal movement, and it helps with your vertical movement as well. You can climb up really fast with them. So it's just too much of a useful weapon to not get right away.
Yeah, plus it also deals damage, as you saw him using it as a weapon a little bit, so the Super Arrow really is the best utility weapon in any Mega Man, classic Mega Man game for sure. Like, it's just very, very good. So, you really want to get it as soon as possible. And that means that the Mega Man 5 route is pretty much set. Like, there's no breaking it, because once you have the arrow, you basically just follow weakness order.
Yeah.
So Cassio does get through Toadman stage. And he'll be heading off to Mega Man 5 here very shortly. He gets his kill on Toadman.
BC switch.
Virtual console is pretty brutal.
Yeah, Mega Man 2 and 3, you can't select a defeated stage, but 4 through 6 you can, and in 1 you can as well. And in 1, the boss even reappears for that stage. Like, you could go back to Cutman and beat Cutman with his own weapon if you wanted to.
Yeah, they actually... So, and the reason they do that in 1 is because you can miss the Magnet Beam.
Yeah.
And so they made the levels re-enterable so that if you missed Magnet Beam, you could go back and find it.
I'm not entirely sure why they put the bosses back in the stage, though.
I don't know. I don't know.
Ooh. Star is a really hard stage.
It is.
Just with the low gravity physics, plus you have to fire all your shots at the right time, or you can lose a lot of time from not killing the enemies.
What is 5's deal about putting insta-kill tiles above your head? They're all over Star. We got him there in Gyro. I don't know, that's probably all of them. It was just a coincidence that they were both on screen at the same time.
There's the one in Wave, too.
Oh, yeah, there you go. See? See? I knew it! All over. Confirmed. Gyro fight is pretty easy with his weakness, as long as you don't miss any shots. It's the whole screen. Oh, Cassio, unfortunately, doesn't jump far enough and takes another death. So, now, the issue Cassio will have, I mean, he is playing Mega Man 5, so... Is that a game over?
That's a game over. Game over in Star. It's probably the only stage that you could feasibly get a game over in.
We've seen a couple people game over doing the Crystal Warp, so I mean, I was gonna say, like, it is Mega Man 5, but I was hoping he might pick up a 1-up somewhere, because you'd hate to see him get to Crystal with no lives.
Yeah.
So, really rough start there for him. As we talk about it, Fatso's doing it now. Setting
Get yourself down to below 3 HP, and then you kind of set yourself up in the arrows and just ride it into the cup and ball enemies here.
Yeah, very nice.
And the second the ball part of the cup and ball enemies spawns 1 frame after the bottom part, the cup part. So during that time period where the ball would spawn, if you die, you fill up the whole sprite table with Mega Man, with his death sprites. So it just kind of puts the head, the bouncing ball, into a couple different spots in memory, where it increases the length of your respawn timer, but it also puts Mega Man's position in the stage to be way beyond the boss gate, so that when you do respawn, you end up at the boss.
Cassio does finally get through Star, and Fatso does get his crystal kill, so he's got a pretty sizable lead now. But again, mostly because of that accidental stage select there in 4 for Cassio, going back to drill.
The crystal warp, Baron can correct me if I'm wrong, I believe it saves about 16 seconds?
A lot of it depends on your skill too. Like for somebody who's not as good at the stage, it would save more, obviously.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think the arrow setup specifically saves, what was it? It was like 9, I think, or something.
Yeah.
Because the arrow setup is a little bit slower. But you can do the setup without the arrow, which is a lot scarier, but it is faster.
Yeah, it requires an exact, well, fairly close to the exact slide, where you slide into the enemy right as the other one spawns.
Yeah, I would say it's exact. I mean, it would have to be it would have to be pixel perfect or frame perfect.
I thought I heard Baron say that there's like a, depending on which pixel you're on, it's like a 2 or 3 frame in there. I don't know for sure though. I could.
I
be
mean,
wrong.
you gotta die on the exact frame, don't you?
Yeah, you.
I don't know. Like
Yeah,
it
I
is
heard.
3.
I heard
Okay.
3. I thought it was 3.
I will believe because I am not a Mega Man 5 runner. But yeah, you won't see that typically in the any percent route because usually people collect beat in the any percent route, and skipping the level, you can't get the letter in Crystal Stage, so you would have to basically be doing the beatless route.
Yeah. And the letter is really late into the stage too, so it's not like you could collect it and then die and go
Right.
do
It's
the warp
after the checkpoint.
after the checkpoint, and that stage is really long. So
Yeah. Napalm is down. He's got 3 more stages to go in Mega Man 5. And Cassio's off the gyro.
about 3 stages ahead, mostly from the miss stage select and then the game over in star.
Now, if Fatso picked up like 8 1-ups and accidentally stage selected, we might have a raise.
Yeah.
I mean, I wouldn't want to, curse him or anything.
No, not in the slightest.
But it's you gotta be wondering if there's a possibility. I mean, it can happen to anybody.
Cassio doing fast at CC's favorite stage in gyro. So easy, isn't it, Fasta?
Mm-hmm. And Fatso gets squeaks, very nice. That rat is a little difficult to hit with the arrow. But he got him very nicely. He's got plenty of arrow for the last room, or this last long room.
Ooh.
Again, just showing why the arrow is just so important.
Mm-hmm.
It just skips so much. Ooh. Scary jet there. So Cassio coming into his fight with Gyro as Fatso is into the last room of stone. No real big mistakes from these guys in the last few stages. They're both playing pretty solid at the moment.
Yeah.
Let's see what kind of stone here Fatso gets.
Getting unhappy stone. Also, he's not jumping up to hit him in the air, so he's firing a couple extra lag bombs on the
Oh,
ground.
yeah, he's getting a lot of lag here. Also not a great pattern either. At least Stone is a really easy fight, though. As long as you stay close to him, he'll just keep jumping. But you want to see small jumps as opposed to those high jumps, because then he won't crumble to the ground and go invulnerable.
Fatso dedicating his chicken room not to a person, but to all of Mega Man 4.
Oh, what a nice guy. With great game comes great... I don't know. I wasn't sure where I was going with that.
I'm
Dedication?
not- Dedication. Cassio sets up the crystal warp very easily.
Yeah, he's got it. Meanwhile, Fatso's into the best stage of the 8 robots.
It definitely is. Was a little bit low, had to improvise an arrow there, but managed to get it all right. The dual crystal doesn't kill the mouse.
Ooh, yeah. Was able to dodge him still. This is is a pretty solid chicken room.
Pretty solid chicken room.
So congrats to Mega Man 4. I think you deserve that one. Solid.
He's gonna stay on crystal here for a little bit. A little bit of potential for drops there if you're not careful.
Yeah, there's a little bit of a danger for drops, but the more he kills with it, I guess, in theory, you could be opening yourself up to more chances of drops to switch to arrow, but I mean, the later you get into that screen, the less that's even worth it, so...
Yeah.
And the arrow in that last train section is very precise. It's like a 2-pixel window, so... Into everybody's least favorite fight, typically.
Power Stone, the best weapon in Mega Man, am I right?
That's what I've heard. Pretty sure I've heard Cab say he likes the weapon a lot.
It's not like you have to pause the game to get rid of it to reduce all the lag and let you fire it again or anything.
Dude, I saw that. That was a pauseless fight. I didn't see any pauses.
0 pauses. Oh, Cassio! Fired a shot a little early.
Yep, he tanked his first shot there, and so, unfortunately, those are insta-kill enemies. Sent back to the beginning of Napalm stage. Fatso's heading into his final boss of Mega Man 5.
Charge kick is so useful in Wave, allowing you to skip by the jet streams that pop up without taking damage from them. You either had, like, if you did Wave earlier than, or before Charge, you'd have to wait for a really long time, or just take all the damage and have none left for Wave Man himself.
Yeah. Essentially, it's sort of like it gives you iframes. It doesn't really, because you can still get hit by certain enemies. But it kind of works that way almost, like you can slide through stuff with it, which is pretty neat. Fatso does get Bubble Skip, but he isn't going to have enough arrow to go for Volt Skip, so he's just going to ride it over to the boat.
Oops, oh shame.
Thankfully, getting the boat here isn't a huge deal. Like, it only costs you maybe 2 to 3 seconds, so it's not a big deal.
Yeah, and it makes the Octodad fight, even though it's a little bit slower, it's easier to do properly. Just because you're always facing towards him, as opposed to the Buster fight where you have a charge shot, which makes the start of the fight a little faster, but you kind of have to aim. Cassio!
Took a hit. Oh, he slid into him! Oh, man.
You will still have enough, but took a lot of damage from the Napalm Man there. And of course, gets it perfectly the second time.
Yep.
Easy second time every time.
Yep. Yeah, it was good execution on that second fight. Fatso's into the doors, so he's almost home free into the final game of the 46 race.
Arguably the best of the 6.
Yeah. I mean, you could probably make arguments for that statement. It's up there. Definitely in the top 6 games of this category. Oh yes, Fatso's, I forgot, his Mega Man 6 is all messed up. So we're going to be seeing nice dark lines in certain screens. So heading with the win first route.
Win first is the the fastest route overall. There are a couple other potential routes that you could take. You could do Flame first to get Flame's weapon right away, save Wind for last. The problem with that is the Flame fight is really random, where having Wind's weapon basically reduces all of the randomness from it. Not quite all, but most of it.
Right.
Yep. And the Buster Wind fight is really easy. It's basically there's a little bit of randomness, but it's very minor, and you can basically always hit him, even during each thing that he does.
Yeah, yeah.
Plus, even if you do the Flame first route and have Wind last, you still have to Buster Wind 8 in order for it to be comparable on time. Just because weapons make it a much easier stage, but the menu to switch makes it slower. Mega Man 6 having the slowest menu of the 6 classic series.
Cassio having to be a little careful, but he gets his kill on Stone. Again, boss is pretty easy once he starts to jump when you stay close to him.
Oh, Dan's Buster.
Oh, yep.
And Cassio dedicating his chicken room to the entire game of Mega Man 5.
Alright, don't mess it up. Mess it up!
Now we want Fatso to reselect Wind here.
Yeah. So yeah, he's into charge. A couple stages of 5
gives
left.
himself a little extra arrow by doing it later.
Ooh, this arrow's a little low.
No,
but
that arrow was
okay. He's fine.
perfectly fine.
I didn't know if he was gonna trigger the Met train there to shoot at him.
Yeah, I think that was actually a perfect height arrow.
See how his chicken room goes with this dedication. Meanwhile, Fatso into Flame. Already failed Flame Perfect.
Flame Perfect is a myth.
Agreed.
Not perpetuate the myth. Oh, and Cassio getting a drop. So he has a chance to go for the
He's doing it.
pixel arrow.
Will he get the
And
2
that's
pixel?
it. I think that's it.
Ooh,
Yep, that's good. So he's gonna save time there.
sick. That was awesome. That's quite a dedicated room.
Quite a day.
For sure. Mega Man 5 should be proud.
The Flame is a really fun stage to go through if you're doing the speedrun strats for it. There's some randomness to it where the Flame guys can drop or spit their flames out at you. And that can slow you down a little bit, but the movement in the stage is all really, it flows together really well, and it's really fun to do properly.
Charges down. He's got one more before he can hit 6, and Fatso's about to finish his second of 6, so potentially has increased his lead by a little bit again.
Oh, he's getting okay.
Ooh, okay.
He tried to do the right wall manipulation, but the weapons come out of Mega Man Buster, not from the center of his hitbox.
Right.
So you gotta be careful about where you're firing from.
Yeah, he can get stuck inside your pixels and then you can't hit him, so...
Very true.
I would argue that 6 is the easiest casual game.
Yeah, there's a lot of E-tanks everywhere.
Bosses are really weak. Especially to their weaknesses.
Yep. Yeah, the bosses don't do a ton of damage. Like, the only things that do 5 damage from each of the bosses is Nightfall's Knight, or Nightman, excuse me, Mace does 5, and Tomahawk's Tomahawk does 5. Getting bodied does 4 from every boss, and then some bosses, their weapons just do 3 damage as opposed to 4, like Blizzard Snowflakes.
Say, Fatso's taken a lot of damage here. He does have that Eve tank he picked up in Flame. I don't think he intended to use it, because I don't think he intended to pick it up. So we'll see if he decides to use it somewhere, because jumping over the margin pit. Guys.
And then taking the first safety spot of shame.
Yep. When will people just go for margarine already?
Right? It's like 100% free.
So easy. Let's see if he goes for... Nope. I think we've only seen one person go for bomb skip. Yeah. I mean, I can see why. His health is kind of low. He wants to make sure he doesn't die to Blizzard, but...
Getting a roll right away.
Kind of unlucky. The 2 rolls right off the start is never a good sign.
But he's only getting a 3 roll pattern out of that.
That's not too bad.
A little lower than average, but... Or a little, I should say, a little worse than average.
Right. Yeah, you can definitely get some nasty patterns from Blizzard. I've seen 2 rolls, ski, 2 rolls, ski, 2 rolls. That was not nice, but it's kind of rare. Yeah. You usually get about 2.
Yeah, the most I've seen personally is 5, but I know that 6 is theoretically a possibility.
Fatso's into plant. I don't know if he's doing plant forms or not, if he learned to do them or not. We'll see.
We'll see there. The last screen of plant can be fairly tricky. There's the plant platforms, or plant forms, that you can open up with a Buster Shot or a couple other weapons. But if you're playing the stage as fast as you can, then you just stay on flame and you don't open them up, which, if you're standing on them while they're, or if you try to stand on them while they're not opened, they kick you off, but they do that after they do like a little check to see if you're standing on it, or if it's opened or not. So it gives you about 4 frames, if you're not moving, to jump off of them.
Is that officially what we're gonna go with still? Like, I mean, that's what I want to say.
When I tested it once, it was 4 frames before it kicked me off and I couldn't do an input.
Okay, I'm just gonna keep saying that then, because let's face it, you have what's the term I'm looking for here? Better reputation for Mega Man 6 than Fasta. Fasta is not known for his good Mega Man 6 strats.
What's Fasta been saying?
6 frames.
No, it's not 6 frames. It's definitely 100% not 6.
6 is a really big window. I'd never frame counted it, so I'm not sure.
6 would be a huge window, and there would be no reason for anyone to not go for it if it were 6.
Yeah, I don't know. Like I said, I haven't tested it myself, but I want to believe you and Tarek, because it definitely feels like 2 and 4, depending on if you're moving or not. Meanwhile, Fatso finishes the stage. He did not go for plant forms, so he busted and opened them like the intended way. So it's a little slower, but you guarantee that you don't have to worry about making the crazy jumps. He also got the manipulation on plant. Did not get 6 hits though.
Dreamer, when is 6 hit cycle?
Agreed. That's a good question. I want to know the answer to that, Fatso. If you could get back to us, that'd be great. Meanwhile, Cassio is through wind, so he'll be heading off to flame here.
I'm gonna swap to Blizzard there.
Oh, yeah, slight mismenu. No, Fatso's cart always looks like that. So I've just sort of gotten used to it. Ooh, Fatso holding right into that room. Unfortunately, depending on your subpixels, sometimes you don't catch the edge, and he didn't, so he fell straight down and got hit.
Yep. And he should be down a flame, I believe, because he fired one on the ground.
He did, yeah.
On the Met machine, so he'll have to...
Although he didn't... He only used 3 flames in the first room. So
oh, yeah, that's true. He did,
yeah,
so he'll be fine.
He should be fine.
Oh, Cassio going just slow enough to get by Roland without getting sniped.
Squeezed right between Roland and the bullet. Very nice. Yeah, that's... It actually, in a lot of ways, like when you see it that way, it's like, ooh, that's really nice. But it actually did mean that he was a little slow. But that's fine. Like, if you're gonna be slow, at least you get that pattern.
Yeah.
Otherwise, Roland will snipe you.
Oh. Ooh. Fatso didn't quite see the drop in time, so he didn't swap off.
Yeah, unfortunately, picks up the large ammo.
We're coming up into the Tomahawk fight, where because you're fighting him with plants, it can be kind of dangerous. The melee weapon. It's easy to take a lot of hits from it. A really bad pattern.
Yeah, it's easy to take hits in this fight, but typically you get to this fight with a lot of health. So
yeah,
it's not a real big deal, but I mean, you can make some mistakes and take some damage in the stage, and then that fight can become a lot scarier if he gives you a lot of small jumps. Speaking of taking a lot of hits here, Cassio actually taking a lot of hits here in this flame fight.
Yeah, he fired a couple of his wind shots a little bit too early into Flame Man's iframes.
That's an easy mistake to do. I mean, after playing the 5 previous games, you get the 6, which has the longest set of, like, the bosses have the longest iframes in 6.
Yeah.
So coming from a game like 5 where they're really short, it can be pretty easy to do that a few times in some of the bosses.
Fatso faking me out, thinking that he was going to go for the alternate route in Yamato.
Yeah. Show the mini-boss off. I think
Yeah.
Terex did that for us one race. I think it was the same one he did his night first run.
So, another thing to mention about the ice physics in Mega Man 6. So normally when you come out of a slide, you come to a dead stop. The ice physics in Blizzard Man stage keep your forward momentum so that you aren't at a full stop, actually. So, it treats it a little bit like it's like Mega Man 4 and 5, where you're forward momentum.
Mm-hmm.
See if he managed to go for butter. He is going for butter. Oh no, we got caught up!
Oh.
That would have been it.
He went for margarine, and I'm proud of him for that. You see, everybody? Look how easy it was.
It was so easy.
Cassio's alive. What's all your other guys' excuses?
Fatso doing the patented fast at CC Yamato fight, and he's gonna...
Dude,
okay!
is he gonna die? Oh my goodness, dude.
That was so close.
I almost saw the fabled Yamato death. I didn't think it existed.
I'm not sure that you can die to Yamato. I didn't realize that was even a possibility.
Yeah, I don't think you can. Pretty sure that the game kills him for you, pretty much.
Cassio getting a really nice one-roll pattern from Blizzard.
Yeah.
He could have gone to the right side of him to get a little bit of a shorter roll, but not too big of a deal.
Yeah, a little minor optimization, but it's fine. It's not a huge time loss, like you said.
And we're coming into the spike ceiling. see what his plan is. Probably going to be the pause. Yep. So while you're pausing, or in mid, like, not while the game is paused, but while you're pausing and unpausing, the ceiling continues to move while Mega Man and the enemies on screen do not. So if you time your slide and your pause at the right time, you kind of manipulate the ceiling, the spikes from the ceiling, to retract back up before they would have a chance to kill you. It actually wouldn't matter if your slide timing is good enough, because the ceiling is actually treated, like the spikes are actually treated as a ceiling if your slide is good enough.
Yeah.
So they actually cannot kill you if you slide at the right time.
Fatso went underneath the bullet there. That's really nice.
It's the good Mad Nerds.
Doesn't get both Raidens, but yeah, the Mad Nerd strat was good, so you sort of manipulate that room in a way so that your second spear hits both the first and the second Mad Nerd, so that you only need 3 spears to kill them both instead of 4.
Yep. Cassio coming up. Oh, he's gonna opt to Buster the plant forms too.
Yeah. Got a pattern Knight gives Fatso. He's got 1 small jump. Only 1 jump, that's pretty nice. And it was a small jump, so it wasn't even really a bad one.
Yes, Plant Man is from Brazil.
Yep.
Fatso's coming up into his last stage. Gonna take a lot of deaths to Miracle Jump hit for Cassio to come back from this.
Yeah. Ooh, Cassio almost got 6, to be honest. He fired 1 shot into iframes, and now he's really struggling to get this last hit.
Centaur Man is not Australian, he's Greek.
And Fatso didn't go for the Metroid boost, and he went for the low-fat Miracle Jump, so playing it a little bit safe still. Yeah, Centaur is Greek.
Doing kind of the poverty version of the Buster underwater realm. The Knights and the Buster versions of the Centaur stage are basically the same speed. It's just more a preference of what you feel more comfortable doing. Alright, so I'm counting on you to do a ladder jump 18 times.
Yeah, Fatso basically coming into the final screen.
Doesn't even go for it.
Doesn't go for it, no. There's really nowhere else for Fatso to die at this point. Centaur doesn't deal enough damage to kill him with the amount of health he's got, so this is basically done.
And he gets 1 teleport.
Yeah, every teleport costs you about 2 seconds, so nothing too critical. He gets his final hit in. Racebot had him at a 1:48.05 because he accidentally messed up his dot done, so it cost him an extra 3 seconds.
Yep.
But yeah, grats to Fatso, he has won. And he will be taking on the winner of Fast at CC and Toad, who are racing, I believe, on Sunday? I want to say, let me look at the schedule. Saturday, sorry, it's tomorrow. Tomorrow at 9 p.m. Fasta and Toad will race, and the winner of that will play Fatso from this one. So congrats to him on moving on to the semi-finals of this tournament. I believe that's what that is, or is it the quarter? Is it the quarters? I think it's semi-finals, right?
think this
Oh no, it's quarterfinals.
yeah, it's the quarters.
You can check out the bracket. On this, right? Yeah, the challenge bracket is there. You can go and click on that.
I almost beat you to the punch.
So it'll be the quarterfinals that he has now gotten into. Joining Prissy, my fellow commentator here, Papad.1, Baron, Becco, and Darko are all in the quarterfinals at the moment. So, after tomorrow, we will actually have round 2 will be over, so we'll have all our quarterfinalists, the last 8 runners of this tournament. So pretty exciting. We're getting to the close of this tournament pretty fast after the pool play. To be honest, like it really steps up and starts to pick up speed once you get through that and get into the actual single elimination bracket.
Yeah, single elimination helps it to go by very fast. Every match matters.
Yep. Yeah, it doesn't matter how good you are if you have one bad run against one of these other really talented runners. I mean, you're basically costing yourself because there's no second chances. Cassio working his way through Yamato. See what kind of a fight he gets.
Fairly simple stage, not a whole lot of enemies in your way.
Yeah.
Go for the best possible fight. He's getting the best pattern.
Yeah, this is the best pattern.
Gets the best possible pattern. Doesn't quite get it perfectly.
Yeah.
It is to be alright, but still takes a hit.
Only 2 stages to go. So yeah, I mean, honestly, despite his mistakes, like if you take away his big one, which was the miss menu in Mega Man 4, and going back to drill, I mean, potentially here he would be only maybe a couple robots behind as opposed to like 3 or whatever he was. So it looked a lot further away than it was, I think, for the most part.
Possible that he might have been entering Centaur when Fatso was finishing.
Yeah, that and then the Starman game over. Those are the 2 biggest mistakes I think that he had. That cost him the most time.
And for the easy ceiling skip. Reminder that it is indeed a ceiling.
It is. Unless you're commentating with Fasta, then it's not.
That's not true.
Because you gotta play along. It's a rule. That's how I'm excusing it. Night is actually one of my favorite stages. I like a lot of the stages in 6.
Yeah.
Freaking Cassio went underneath the bullet too. These guys are crazy. With the amount of edges that are mean in 6, it's kind of surprising to see them both go for that.
And those were pretty good Mad Nerd. Looked like he mashed next shot there. So his next spear went down instead of up.
Ooh, misses a jump there in the bouncy castle room, so he'll get sort of bounced around a little more than he would like.
Yo, anticipating the jump.
Yeah.
Firing the shot up above him.
1 stage to go. Still gonna be sub 2, assuming that his centaur goes well. So I mean, that's still decent enough.
See if he goes for the good Metroid boost and Miracle Jump combo. Looks like he went for the good Metroid boost there.
He did, yeah. And cancels way too early and just decides to not go for the Miracle Jump at all. Ooh, doesn't quite hit the Pelican either, so...
I think I saw Fatso die to Elec, man. I thought he just fell down like 3 times in the climb. Unless I missed it. Actually, a little bit low on health here. There's still one more plan D boost, and you got a small drop.
Yeah, he's gonna have to wait for the water to come back down.
He is gonna get the poverty health.
Yeah, I mean, I don't remember seeing Fatso die to Elec, but I think he just fell a bunch.
Okay. That was kind of strange. I guess he was worried about his Nightball count, so he was off.
Could be, yeah. No jump. So Cassio's gonna be coming to the end of his run here.
Ladder jumpless race feels bad, man.
Yeah, it happens.
Teleport right away.
Thanks, Centaur.
Don't get flashed. Okay, he's got perfect damage. The last hit.
Couple teleports there, but he does finish. RaceBot had him at a 1 hour, 56 minute, and 21 second time. So, congrats again to Fatso on the win. Unfortunately, this is where we'll say goodbye to Cassio, but he did a very good job in this tournament. Obviously, getting through his pool. He had a pretty hard pool too. He had Becco and Mr. Cab in his pool, which, you know, it was not easy. There was going to be somebody who was decent getting knocked out. Unfortunately, Cab was not able to move on, and Cassio worked really hard at this to get to where he is. So,
yeah,
great job.
That pool was fairly stacked, where there were 3 runners that deserved to get out, but only 2 slots available.
Yeah, exactly. So. But that's pretty much what's going to happen with the single elimination. We're eventually just going to have to start saying goodbye to some of the runners. So, awesome to have them participate. They've done a lot of runners have done so much improving since this tournament started, and Cassio's no exception. He's done a very good job of getting better at these games. So, but yeah, that's the end of this one. So our next races are going to be, there's 2 races right now on the schedule for tomorrow. The first one will be at 11 a.m. EST. That's going to be Nero X2 versus Mazimov. The winner of that race will move on to play or race Darko in the quarterfinals. And then at, like we mentioned earlier as well, at 9 p.m. EST, we'll see Fastat CC taking on Toad 22484. And that, again, 9 p.m. EST for that one. So we're going to be finishing up this round 2 of this playoff bracket here, and be basically figuring out who's all in the quarterfinals by the end of tomorrow. So really exciting to see that we're finally getting into the nitty-gritty of this tournament.
Getting into all the closer matchups. The semifinals and finals should be really, really interesting to watch.
Yeah, for sure. But yeah, I mean, I don't have anything else to add other than that. If you've got anything to mention, I don't know.
No. Just thanks everybody for showing up and watching and supporting all the runners, and we hope to see you tomorrow for the next races.
Yeah, for sure. Our Mythical also saying that tomorrow has the Tiny 10. So if you like Game Boy games, that's something you can watch for as well. I can look for one.